Well, before you decide I'm about to steal your joy and introduce a whole bunch of bureaucracy that's going to slow you down, hang on. If you've ever worked with someone, or maybe you are that someone, who's always coming up with new ideas, you know how exciting and inspiring it can be to imagine what's possible. Ideas and innovation, after all, are the lifeblood of a growing business. But like that third piece of cake, there can be too much of a good thing. In fact, great companies don't suffer from a lack of ideas. They usually have more than they can handle. As Bill Hewlett said, founder of Hewlett-Packard, HP for you youngsters, more companies die of indigestion than of starvation. So how do you stay focused and set aside the distractions without killing the creativity and innovation in your business? Having a process for capturing and evaluating new ideas is the key to being able to feel the rush of new ideas without the crush of wasted time and resources. Ironically, the best recipe for handling a new idea is to sprinkle on a little bureaucracy. What do I mean by that? Well, before you decide I'm about to steal your joy and introduce a whole bunch of bureaucracy that's going to slow you down, hang on. First, let's address the assumption that process equals bureaucracy equals slow. The term bureaucracy just refers to a situation in which there's a bunch of processes and controls in order to keep things safe and uniform, in compliance, etc. These things in and of themselves are neither slow nor fast. It's all in the execution. In fact, your favorite fast food restaurant is likely a bureaucracy, a complex system of processes and controls to ensure uniformity and safety. And yet, you still get your fries in under 2 minutes. Similarly, a process is not necessarily slow or fast. Imagine how you do a household chore versus how a reluctant teenager might do it. It's all in the speed of execution. Hi, I'm Lynn. For over 30 years, I've been helping businesses from startups to Fortune 50 corporations do some pretty incredible things. My specialty is turning big, never-been-done-before ideas into plans and goals successfully achieved. I've seen what works and what doesn't, and now I'm on a mission to help you turn great execution into a repeatable process. So, with the bureaucracy myth dispelled, how do we create a process that helps us capture great ideas and pick the best ones without getting all bogged down? Step 1, create a process for capturing the new ideas. So establish a way for everyone to submit ideas, suggestions, and opportunities. It could be a form, an email address, maybe even a Slack channel, or a voicemail suggestion box. Whatever it is, make sure it's quick, accessible, and easy to use. And don't forget to include a way to capture who submitted the ideas so you can give them updates later and maybe even recognize them for their contribution. Okay, so once you've got a pile of ideas, now what? Step 2, establish a quick screen process for evaluating ideas as they come in. Making the quick screen process part of a standing recurring meeting is the easiest way to make sure that you stay consistent about it and don't lose track of things. Every idea should be reviewed against some basic criteria that are quick and easy to apply objectively and consistently. Things like, what are the financial impact? How about regulatory requirements? Does this help us meet compliance in some way? How about, does it help us meet our current goals and objectives? If an idea doesn't meet one or more of the criteria, set it aside and notify the submitter that you won't be moving forward with it. I know it can be difficult, but the more consistently you apply the criteria, the better the future submissions are going to be. Step 3, establish a cadence and criteria for deeper review. Many companies add a scoring method to their questions. This makes it easier to compare different kinds of ideas and makes the process a little bit more objective. Questions you can ask during your deeper review could be things like, are there resources currently available for this? Does it represent a true advancement for the business? And is now the best time to actually implement this? Of course, these aren't the only questions you can ask. You should feel free to come up with your own. And again, if any of the ideas don't meet at least one of the criteria, set it aside and notify the submitter that you won't be pursuing it further. Pro tip, taking notes on your decision-making process will make it a lot easier for future reviews. What processes have you used to capture and evaluate ideas? Drop a note in the comments so we can all learn together. Okay, so now you got a handful of great ideas, but you can't just drop everything because things meet the criteria. Step 4, choose only the best ideas for implementation. Obviously, not every idea that makes it through the review process can or should be implemented. After all, you haven't suddenly gotten more time in the day or more resources. Standard practice with my clients is to review those ideas that made it through the deeper review during your quarterly plan. This allows you to review the full list of ideas that made it through step 3 in the context of all the other things you already have planned for the next 90 days. You can compare costs and benefits of each and decide which, if any, you're actually going to tackle. As Steve Jobs, founder of Apple, said, "Innovation is saying no to 1,000 things. You have to pick carefully." By that measure, saying yes should be the exception. And finally, step 5, communicate. How you capture and review ideas will be unique to your company. The most important thing is that everybody knows how to submit ideas, what the review process and criteria are, and that every idea will be reviewed. Be sure to thank every person for their contribution and tell them the what and the why of the decision if you can. This reinforces that their ideas matter and were carefully considered. For those ideas that do get chosen for implementation, be sure to recognize the submitter and publicly talk about which ideas got chosen. This will increase the quality of future contributions. Putting these simple steps in place will help you make smart decisions, encourage innovation, and reduce distraction. They also allow you to focus your most precious time and resources on only the most important goals from your strategic plan. Speaking of strategic plans, check out my next video about the 7 questions you need to ask after strategic planning and before you dive into execution mode. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you being here. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like or a comment. The engagement helps YouTube know that my content is worth sharing with other awesome people like you. Until next time, bye.